All right. I think it is time to get started with this today. We have a fun little episode, so why don't we get to our just chatting screen? That music is loud in my ears, but hopefully it's not loud in yours. So yeah. Welcome to the 3/4 view show, where I, instead of standing normally like I do front-facing center, I am in a 3/4 view. That is the show. That's the entire show. Don't worry about it. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome to today's episode of the VOD. Now, before we begin, I am 1/4 panicked. We'll get to you in a moment. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about yesterday's show, and then we will go and we'll talk about today's show. So, yesterday's show, episode 4 of the VOD, we had, oh my gosh, I'm knocking things over. We had Rinthio, a Stardust VTuber, and we had a very interesting series of conversations, you know, that started out pretty tame, where we talked a little bit about the intricate nature of following your own path and individuality. Why don't you stand 3/4 upside down? Well, like that? Is that what you want? Is that what you talk? Is that what we're talking about? Well, the thing is that he'll be on the couch, so truly more bat than man, a man bat if you will, or a Batman if you won't. So let's see, let's fix that. I mean, you are a bat in this economy. All right, I'm done with that joke. So, but yesterday we had a really good conversation about individuality when it comes to VTubing. We also talked about sort of development and growth as a VTuber, and just as a streamer in general, and how past streaming can influence how that can be seen and how that can be done. You know, because before becoming a VTuber, Rinthio was an on-camera streamer. And when he decided to transition to becoming a full-fledged VTuber, he experienced more growth because he was able to change his brand and, you know, become he was able to change and adapt with what he felt was more natural to him. And because of that, he hit affiliate recently, so congratulations to him. You know, that's a really important milestone. You know, we're almost pretty close to that. We're 4 followers away from hitting 50. So it's super interesting to think about when you how channels and, you know, content creators and streamers, how they monitor their growth, and they add milestones, and they add, you know, different goals to how that could quantify their success. You know, some people, they say 50 followers, you know, hitting affiliate is what I measure as success. While other people are like, I got to get up and stream today. I had the strength and the courage to get up and go on camera and stream today. And that's how some people measure success. And whether you see it as, you know, you reach a numerical milestone or you reach a more emotional and personal milestone, you know, that's what makes being you, is that not everybody follows that same set of standards. You know, it's whatever helps them fit their mold that they want to create for themselves. So we talked about that a little bit, but I think the highlight of the show was two things. Looking at Ringo Starr art, you know, Ringo Starr, the drummer of the Beatles, taking a look at the art he's made in MS Paint, and somehow being the dastardly villain that he is and charging $4,000 for MS Paint art. I don't care if you're the drummer of the Beatles. I don't understand how you can charge $4,000 for that. If you look on his website, you can see that. I get heated talking about it because $4,000 for this. I don't care if it's signed by Ringo Starr. $4,000 does not justify MS Paint art. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate. So, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, because guess what? it didn't hurt me, you know, it didn't hurt me. So yeah, today's going to be a good show. Today's going to be a fine show. Whether or not we take a look at that Ringo Starr art, I don't know. I can't say for sure. No, but today's going to be a fun show. We're having our guest today on episode 5 of the VOD. We have a fun guest. It is a guy who is been on this channel, you know, frequently. You know, he and I have been he's the first person I collabed with, and you know, we've just been collabing back and forth, whether it's on stream or off stream, you know, playing games. By playing games, we just play a lot of Phasmophobia, but then again, it's a very good game. If you haven't played it, check it out, please. It's a fun game. If you haven't checked out his streams, check them out, please. You know, we'll be doubling back to that later. But, you know, very special guest. I'm super happy to finally have him on, that we can talk, hear insights, you know, hottest takes, you know, his Subway order, you know, because that's an important question, is what is your go-to order when you go to Subway? So yeah, this is the ghost of childhood dreams left to rest, the guardian of the haunted amphitheater. Some call him a goof, some call him a thirst trap. You know, his mother calls him a good boy, but many people like me call him a friend. Please welcome onto the show, the Phantom Fame. How are you doing, brother?
What's up? What's up? I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna make sure this is all in the right spot over here. Perfect.
You just completely. I was gonna say you just completely changed
That is the downside. That's the downside of having an ultra wide, is that nothing is ever ready for it, and I have to be so careful about everything I do, because if I'm not careful, it will just be like, oh, you want full screen? Boom. An aspect ratio supported by literally nothing.
Well, at that point, I feel like you don't get a choice. I guess the monitor just is like, I'm sorry, but, you know, I just have to do this. It is what it is. You kind of have to just deal with it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I heard that you wanted full screen. It just goes for it.
Well, I mean, I have two 27-inch monitors and then a 32-inch monitor. Well, actually, the 32-inch monitor is a TV that's sitting above me. So, because if I look to my left here, that is a vertical monitor. If I look in front of me right here, that is I'm looking at you. And if I look up, that is my top monitor, or my TV. So yeah, Scuff is streaming, and streaming is Scuff.
Yes, 100% that. Everything that.
Welcome, Oth. Welcome to this show. The moment when you want full screen, but it wants windowed. Look, windowed.
Oh God, don't.
So
that was a battle.
So let me tell you something. Is that because I play a lot of Payday 2 recently. Last night, I finally, with my buddy, we just completed quote unquote the game, meaning we got the secret true ending to the game. Well, no, it's just a secret ending. Excuse me.
An ending.
Yeah, there's an ending to Payday 2. So there's a story mode that you can do.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Put hours into that game. I had no idea.
Yeah, there is a story mode to that. Like, I'm not joking.
I don't know what to say to that. I didn't know that.
So the concept, without giving away too much, is that you start out robbing banks because you want to build a reputation as the greatest heister. And as you're doing this, you're getting more and more attention, to the point that the colleagues you're working with either betray you, or they just decide to go off on their own and they end up getting killed. And so it comes to a point where you realize you have to break into the White House and steal presidential pardons. That way you can just go and live your life.
That's awesome.
So, I gotta update my tags for this.
I mean, they're pretty accurate.
No, I hit F11. I don't want to go full screen on that.
See, how's it feel?
My gosh, it's not fun, especially during a live stream.
Yeah, well, that's why I have I swear by stream decks, dude. I say it just about every stream. Cannot stress enough how nice it is to have something at my fingertips where I can change the aspect ratio, audio levels, mute, unmute, change my scenes without having to jump around with the mouse. I can do it literally in game. and like that has saved me so many times. It saved me so much trouble.
Yeah, one of these days I need to get a stream deck, because we actually have a stream deck where I work, and like the stream deck itself hooks up to my audio software that we use to edit, and I guess it just somehow works. I don't know how, but it just does. So, you know, if stream decks can work like that, more power.
More power, King. More power.
So, but yeah, back to the Payday 2 thing. Yeah, Payday 2 has a lot of good content. It is a super replayable game. I just hit level 100, and like since my first Payday stream, because I streamed Payday 2 like a couple weeks ago, that was a rough stream because I jumped back into Payday 2 and I hadn't played it for like 3 or 4 months. And so jumping back into it for the first time, playing it on stream, was so rough.
Well, because you tried 3 and it was just bad, right?
So I played the beta for 3 and I thought it was super fun.
Okay.
Because I kept an open mind because I'm like, oh, this is just the beta. And then when I saw the actual finished product, I'm like, I'm not gonna get that. So,
that's always a bad feeling.
Yeah. So more people are flooding back to Payday 2, and I don't know if this was a decision by, me and my brain just making fun of the situation, being like, what if they decided to purposely make Payday 2 a not so good game, or Payday 3 not so good, that they can shove people back to Payday 2.
Genius.
Like they're four parallel universes ahead of us.
That's like the producers, where they're just like, yeah, we make more money if we make a flop.
Oh, you know the producers?
I have 3 sisters, and my only one is older, and the older one wanted to do Broadway. And so I do know a fair amount of musicals from what got carried on to the family iTunes, and thus onto my iPod. And I'd be like, what the hell is Bat Boy?
Bat Boy? What is that?
It's a musical.
I'm pretty well versed in Broadway musicals. Beep boop. Thank you all. I'm very well versed in Broadway musicals, but I've never heard of that one.
I'll have to send you some parts of it, because it's been such a long time. But I remember the album cover is literally like a vampire reading a newspaper at a kitchen table.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. No, it's right up your alley, Bat Boy.
We have to fight after this? Bat Boy? I am not a bat boy. I am a fembat. There is a difference.
I'm a fem man.
Sometimes it takes a fem man to do a femboy's job.
Because when you got something that needs to be done, you call yourself a femboy.
It do be a femman bat.
A femman bat.
Oh, I remember that DC comic. Batman.
B-Man?
Yeah, Kirk Langstrom as Femmambat. Oh my goodness. But holy cow, today is going to be a fun little stream. You know, Bat Boy was a viral story back in the heydays of weekly rags like the Inquirer. Huh.
Oh.
Really? Interesting. I've never heard it.
I wonder if that's what it was about.
You guys went from the producers to Futurama? Welcome, Breezy. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing in Futurama to this. You know, what's funny is I was actually having a conversation with somebody recently about Futurama, because, like, do you know anything about their writers? Like,
no, I just know the animation style is like something about it is shared with The Simpsons, but that's about it.
So their whatchamacallit, their writers team is collectively like the smartest writers team for any TV show. Let's see, Futurama writers. So let's see. Somebody put out a tweet about it or something. The writing staff of Futurama collectively held 3 PhDs, 7 master's degrees, and totaled more than 50 years at Harvard University. Writer Patrick Verone said, "We're easily the most overeducated cartoon writers in history."
That's insane.
Because, and it's funny to think about with that, because like one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite moments from Futurama has to come from like an episode where Professor Farnsworth is at the horse track. It was the horse racing track, and when he did, like, he bet on a horse, and the horse was about to win, and became a photo finish by a nose. And so like it's like, the judges are this has come down to a photo finish with an electron microscope. It's like that. It was like, this horse won by a nose with an electron I don't know. The point is, they used the electron microscope, and Professor Farnsworth lost the race and just yells, "No fair! You what did he say? It was so funny.
Oh, Malgord? Did Malgord just finish your sentence for you?
No fair! By measuring it, you change the outcome. Exactly. And so what makes that so funny is, at first glance, one could think that it's the reason why it changed the outcome was because they looked and saw that no, the other horse was there by, you know, a nose. But when in reality, using an electron microscope to measure to observe the electrons is just, it follows Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which states that you cannot know the position and speed of an electron at any given time. It is impossible. You can know its general location, but you can't know its general speed. You can know its general speed, but you can't know its general location. You can know one, but not the other. You can't know both. Because they move so fast that when you look at it, it essentially stops in place. But that is not the position that it's relative to. It's like taking a photograph.
Yeah.
But even though it's moving, a single electron is moving so fast that it's technically in, like, you know, exponential places at once. And
Yeah,
so
okay.
at that point, by measuring the relative location of the electron in that horse race, it comes down to random chance. Because at every time you look at it, it's in a different position. It'll never be in the same spot.
Wow.
Which means that
that's wild to think about.
Because if they used an electron microscope for both of these horses, at that point, they saw that the electron they captured was random. So it didn't come down to this horse made it, you know, further the line first. Electrons don't really exist in their potential field. That's true. Because that's why we call it electron field. You know, valence electrons and all that. Now, this is not a physics channel, so I will gladly admit I will eat my flex tape.
Sure?
I wish. I will gladly eat my flex tape if I am wrong.
Delicious flex tape.
So, but the whole idea of it is that, you know, by estimating the general, the relative position of an electron, it just comes down to chance. His horse won, but just like, no, we measured it, it's this horse. It's like, no, you cheated by measuring its outcome, or you changed the outcome. It's so stupid. It's one of the most, like, IQ jokes in any cartoon.
So I'm thinking about it now. Flex tape actually is expensive enough to be a movie theater snack. I didn't consider that before that one instance of you saying it.
Hold on. Please elaborate.
It's expensive enough.
Okay. Okay. I'm all ears. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. So are all other movie theater snacks. Movie theater snacks are notoriously way too much money. They're like, you could go to Target, which isn't really that great of a savings in the first place, and get stuff for cheaper. So like, flex tape, you can do so much with it, but can you eat it? Can it be considered a movie theater snack because it's expensive enough?
So,
because it's right up there with everything else.
So what you're saying is that anything that is roughly the estimate, or roughly the price of a movie theater snack, is technically a movie theater snack. Like if it gets up in that price range, like between this margin right here of like $10 to $25, early, $10 to $20, it suddenly becomes a movie snack.
I mean, you just talked about eating it.
Well,
so I would say anything that someone would potentially eat, because let's be real, some of that shit's not food. And people will put it in their face hole. So like, if there's someone who's eaten it, like there's someone who's eaten their flex tape, because you keep saying it, you will have to eat flex tape at some point.
perhaps I will.
Like just like someone's eaten their hat. Like, like does that become a movie theater snack because it's expensive enough?
Well, so then that begs.
These are the questions.
This just kind of sounds like a ship of Theseus kind of thing. That level of in-depth thought. Malgar says, when you measure anything on the quantum level you affected, the question is, how does the thing you measured know it's been measured? I don't think it knows that it's been measured. Obviously we know it doesn't know, but I feel like if you took the Flash, for example, and, he vibrated back and forth really quickly, and you took a photo, where it is relative to that piece of time, because I don't think it's not that it doesn't know it's being measured, it's just that we happen to find it in that relative point in time, because time flows in a constant state. Now, because of this, it's kind of like, for instance, if I threw a stream marker on my stream, then that marker is only for that period in this constant flow of time. But if time were to go by a second, a micron of a second, well, suddenly that marker is in a different location, different time, so it's never going to be the same. It's because then we're getting into the realm of quantum mechanics, and I am by no means qualified to talk about quantum mechanics, because that gets into string theory. So, sorry about that, Phantom.
I'm not qualified for any of that.
But you know what I am qualified to talk about? Eating flex tape.
Yeah, but what about Oth talking about shoving his homie in a dress? Because I tell you what, that's based as shit.
Just tell me, do you ever just put a dress on and then pretend, give yourself a little bit of a bigger belly, and then you shove snacks in there and you sneak that into the theater? Pretend.
I have never worn a dress, but like if someone presented to me a dress and said, "Hey, I want you to wear this. We're sneaking stuff into the movie theater," I would try it.
Oh.
I would definitely try it. I would make sure I get the cleanest shave I can get, wear a mask, and pretend that I was just trying to be, sensitive to the current state of the world and germs. And I would try to play it off that I was a petite woman trying to make my way in this world.
Look,
and then sneak in as many snacks as possible.
Imagine all of life's problems solved by just putting on a dress.
Cross-dressing?
Just cross-dressing. See, if you're ever feeling down, just throw on a little bit of a dress and, that's another discussion. That's why I wear cargo shorts and a denim jacket. You can shove so many snacks in those 2 items of clothes. It's interesting you say that because, I'm built like a petite woman. Oh.
I am unfortunately not.
I am also unfortunately not. I am built like a brick crap house, as they say.
Rick Crab House? Is that what you said?
A brick crap house.
Oh, crap house.
Yes, sir. So, 96 pounds and 5'4". My goodness. Watch out for a stiff breeze. That might be a little rough. But it's interesting that we talk about, like a dresses and all that. I feel like we, like, sometimes, like, me as a man, I feel like I wish I had like more flowy clothing, because I feel like it would just wear better. Because, like, take a look at the Scottish for a moment. Kilts. Kilts are worn all the time. They just look comfortable because you're wearing an outer garment. You don't have to worry about anything underneath, and it just, whether or not people need that support.
I'm of the opposite mindset. I like to be hugged by what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Like I like wearing jeans. I can sleep in a pair of jeans.
Oh, I love jeans too. Don't get me wrong.
it used to be that I could only nap during the day if I was wearing jeans, and I used to have a denim comforter, and that was like my jam. Like I like everything to just be like, rather than being like flowy, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have it supported. I'd rather have a little bit of support.
See, for me, I love wearing like 4X t-shirts, with my sweatpants, because it feels so roomy, because I can relate with Auth on that. It's a big old, a big old shirt that I don't have to worry about. I'm like, oh, that's just I'll always fit into it. Just sneak in some What is sterno? Wait,
I
what
don't
is
know.
sterno? Sterno.
I am not a.
Are those the
I am not a
sternos
chef.
are those portable, they're the portable like heating cans that you light. Like for
God.
camp. Just sneak those in craft dishes, some Maz rigatoni, and do a buffet while you're at it. Why stop at stacks? So, do you know the video of like that old video a while ago of a guy that was in the back of a classroom cooking ramen on like a portable stovetop?
I don't think I saw that video.
No. So there's a video of a guy who's sitting in the back of his classroom, like a high school classroom, and he just busts out a portable stove and just starts cooking and boiling ramen noodles in it.
Hell yeah.
That happened apparently at my school.
What? Really?
Yeah, that happened in my high school some years ago.
That's wild.
So just pretty funny to think about.
I don't think there was anything crazy like that at my school. I'm trying to think. I mean, other than, fights and stuff, like the craziest thing I ever got into was just like, on the last day of school, I think it was my senior year, I put a speaker in my backpack and I ran the wire up through my backpack, down my shirt, through my jacket sleeve, and into my hand where I had my iPod Touch. And I was playing music as like we all walked out of the building, and I was blaring it. It was super loud. It was fun.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't think we had it like, there's fights and stuff, but other than that, I don't think there was anything that was like super interesting. And even then, like all the fights were dumb or super quick.
High school fights are no joke, man. They go unironically hard.
They can, yeah. They can also land you in a lot of trouble. So be careful about that.
Yes, they can. Well, the best advice I've ever heard is if you ever get into the best way to win a fight is to run. So
that is not true. I can tell you for certain that is not true.
Well,
the best way to win a fight is to avoid the fight entirely.
Oh,
rather than, like if you run, they're gonna chase you because they know that you're scared and they can get you.
Well, yes, but I mean, if you avoid the fight, yes. But I'm talking about like if you're in a fight, is just if you run away, if you can have the ability to run away, it helps, because at that point you don't want to fight and you're gonna try your best to just run away.
Yeah, that's in the school's eyes. That's the only thing you should do. If you do anything else, then the school is gonna come down on you for it, no matter who's right, who's wrong, what happened. It's that's the only way to not get in trouble. Take it from me.
Yeah,
it does not matter what else.
Bottom line, don't get into a fight. When I was a foot taller than you when I was younger, and I will tell you, I am afraid of smaller guys. They're insane in a fight. Well, that is something I've seen recently where like, because I'm 6'3", I'm a tall guy, but I've seen people my height. Like one of the big things I saw was like somebody's a boxer versus like an MMA or like a Muay Thai fighter or grappler. And like just how he was able to just climb on top of it and pin him to the ground is just like I don't know if I want to mess with people. So
it's the difference between what you trained in, and also you just should try not to get in fights with people, because you don't know how crazy someone is. And even if you're like, oh, I can take them in a fight, it's like, what if they take this outside of a fair fight?
That's
the problem.
That's the biggest scare about fights, is that they're so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, when some people are just like, oh, there's rules to fight, when you get into a fight, you don't do this, you don't do this. I'm like, no. If I get into a fight, I'm against like a man. I'm kicking him in the nards. You know,
Yeah. No, there is nothing. There are no rules to a fight. There is only one thing you should do, and it's just make sure you come out on top. I don't actually even know if I can qualify any of the fights I've been in as actual fights, because all of them have been very one-sided.
off over here pulling a Mike Tyson.
It was like one punch, 1 to 3 punches, but only one side was throwing them, and then it was just over. And that is how every fight I've been in has gone.
Yeah, Breezy went to a private school, and the fights were between crew and field hockey. There were oars versus sticks.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I would pay for that, dude.
They'd meet on.
I'd pay to see it.
They'd meet on the battle. Wait, so what's the difference between so oars and sticks? So so it's like field hockey is so in the grass, I'd imagine, whereas crew hockey is like what, on blacktop or like a street.
Yeah, I don't know what crew is. Is that just like rowing, or that's what I'm not familiar with. If I get in a fight and ear is coming off, no, you don't. You don't want to bite someone's ear. That's crazy.
Well, so that's why I said Oth is over here pulling a Mike Tyson.
Rowing. It is rowing. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, so it is rowing. Well, that would suck to be hit with any kind of instrument like that. Thank you for making my point. Oh, I missed Oth's comment up there. Some dudes brought a microwave and made cup noodles in the vocational buildings. That's funny. Look, sometimes you just gotta eat. You don't have a place to sit down. You just kind of have to do it. So, I don't make the rules. That just happens. You don't want to fight that
seated and facing away from you. Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to piss someone off and then turn your back to them. That is just about the worst thing you can do.
So, well, that's why if you know you can run, that's like it's not a one size fits all. Like for me, I'm pretty fast. And I'm pretty big. I feel like I could outrun most people if I need to.
Yeah, 6'3" will do that. That'll give you some long legs.
So funny that you say that. When I was one of the shows I was working for, or that I was doing, that I was mixing for, I was going across the stage, and my buddy was next to me. Or he was on like the platform below me. I'm like, hey, you wanna see who can get to that end faster just by walk? He's like, okay, and he's like 5'6", 5'7". And so we start walking, and I see him walking fast, and I just have long strides that I'm just walking. Like, think Doflamingo from One Piece. Just long strides as I'm walking, and I am just like an entire, like, 3 feet ahead of him just because I have longer strides than he does. So
funny, dude. Yeah, I was never fast as a kid. That did not come. I was strong.
Ain't no one.
I was always really, really strong, which did not do well for me because I basically thought I could solve everything just because I was stronger than other people. But I was never faster than people.
So you essentially subscribe to the Biscuit Oliver mentality from Baki. Of just, I can't be the fastest. I'm just going to be pure strength.
Yep. That was me. My dad used me as a clamp for the first like 2 decades of my life. So that was my job, was to hold wood together or hold things in place while he nail gunned or screwed it in.
That's pretty impressive.
That gave me very good upper body strength for like I think middle school was the first time that like someone else was about as strong as I was. And it wasn't until high school until like kids actually started getting the same size or bigger than me. And I started realizing, I was like, oh, there are people that are way stronger than me here. I was like, that is weird. And that's when I realized that I was like, oh, well, maybe I should find other things that matter. And then I realized that strength literally doesn't mean anything outside of fights. Like, other than fights and helping people move, it has very little to do with anything other than looks.
Yeah. I meant the rowers would be formidable if they were seated and facing away as it... Yeah, I mean, Rowers, that's a thing. I recently have started to get into rowing, like with a machine, and it can be very, like, it drains you. But for me, like, I'm getting to the point where I can probably do that for a solid hour and not stop on like most resistance on the machine I'm on. And it's just one of those things where you start to get into a motion where you're pulling back like just one right after the other, and you just kind of get into a flow.
Get a rhythm. Yeah. I that is not me. I am very much I am powerful, I am strong, and you've got me for like half an hour to an hour, and then I am done. I am out. I'm out of steam. You're not getting anything else until you reload me with nuggies.
Oh, it do be like that sometimes. Auth over here is fast as frick.
I actually did earn the nickname Burnout from my very brief stint in sports, and luckily it didn't stick. The other nicknames did stick, but that one did not.
Well, here's hoping that you don't have to get into a fight where, anytime soon.
Nope, I don't. I think the last one I was in was junior year of high school. No, there was one senior year.
Well, thankfully I didn't get into any fights in high school, and I haven't gotten really into any fights because I've tried my best to avoid them. Like, I've almost come close, but I've always made sure to either diffuse it or just walk away. So
yeah. Oh, I just had situations where I couldn't diffuse them, and it was that's the downside of being the nice guy, is that people will just walk all over you until they realize that they can't anymore. And sometimes you just got to draw that line in the sand. And back then, I did not know how to do it with just my words. And for the times I did, it didn't work. So, but you know what? I didn't get expelled because they did not realize I got in 2 more after the one where they told me not to do it again.
Yeah. This is just me, but if a guy can lift me up with a smooth sweeping motion, I'm into it. Or do a lift when we're dancing. You know what?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just reminds me of my swing, because something I love doing in my free time is I love swing dancing.
Ooh, swing is cool.
Swing dancing is so much fun, but it's East Coast swing. It's not West Coast swing. So West Coast swing is more like, so there's East Coast, there's West Coast, and there's like country swing. I'm not a big country swing guy, but I like more East Coast swing, and it's just super fun to dance and listen to.
Yeah, the girl I dated, the first girl I ever dated, it was super young, so young that it's kind of hard to call it dating, but it went on for a while, so I tend to call it that because it was like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But she insisted, because I didn't want to go to school dances or anything like that, she insisted that we go to a ballroom dance class, which we went to for like, I think 6 to 8 months, something like that. So I did actually learn a little bit how to swing. I actually before, I think the last class I ever went to, before that class, I was playing basketball across the street with my neighbors because they had a hoop in their driveway, and we were dunking on like 7.5 feet because we thought we were super cool. We were like, yeah, dunk contest. Oh, ah! And I remember I dunked it and I landed, and their driveway was like a little slanted, so there's maybe like a centimeter difference between like my 2 feet.
Yeah.
And I went to take a step, and my right leg all of a sudden just didn't work. And I was like, oh, lifted it up, put it back down. It worked again. And I was like, well, that was weird. And then Karen, my mom, like opens up my door and starts yelling. She's like, you better be getting ready because you got dance class. And like, she's like, I am not letting you skip it again. Like, that is not fair. Like, that's so mean to her. You need to go. And I was like, yeah, all right. My leg feels kind of weird though. And she's like, I don't care. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was probably being a really, really big pain in the butt that day. Because that woman never gets mad.
Oh,
so
thank you for the vote of confidence, Mom.
Yeah, dude. Karen, she earns it. All right. She is the greatest. So if she's yelling at you, you have earned it like threefold. So she sends me to the dance class, and the entire time my leg is just killing me. Like and we're learning the tango, so like it's very particular movements. You have to be very precise,
Oh yeah.
And so like I was like, guys, I can't do this right now. I don't know what's going on. My leg just really hurts. I I go home. I still get chewed out because I kind of sat out on some of the lessons. And then the next day I was like, look, I'm not going, I don't want to go down the stairs. I went down the stairs on my butt, and then she was like, okay, you're not messing around. Let's go. I had broken my leg.
Jeez. And just from trying.
Oh, she sent me a picture of it the other day. I think I have it.
Was that so? Was that the run up, or was that the jump, like the landing?
It was the landing. It was landing on an uneven surface. I landed on my right leg just slightly before my left, and so I broke it. I fractured my knee at the growth plate.
What?
So yeah. So he said that if I wasn't careful, and oh damn it, I can't send it because it's got that would be the biggest dox of all time. But
yeah,
because it's got like my name, my date of birth, my mom's name, it's got everything on there. But you can have it all. You would know that I'm not lying about her name being Karen though.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so she felt awful, absolutely awful, and yeah, so that's my most interesting man in the world story, is that I learned to tango on a broken leg.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Like I've learned a little bit of how to tango, but a lot of my knowledge in dance comes from swing, but Colombian bachata. And
I'm not familiar.
So Colombian bachata is, I think if I remember, bachata originally originated in the Dominican Republic, and then branched out to other countries. So it only takes two to tango, but only three legs to work. I see your third leg. No.
Yes.
But yeah, it started in the Dominican Republic and kind of spread in, each kind of country that took it in, adopted it, and turned it into, its own kind of thing. But what makes bachata so good is that it's a very intimate type of Latin dancing, where it takes a lot of the movements of swing, where you do the rock step, but you essentially, you're like 3 inches apart away from your partner. Muscular swing dancing, broken leg tangoing, rowing, Mensa level intellectuals. Why are you VTubing instead of freedom fighting, international man of intrigue? Got a
Who
point.
knows?
He's got a point.
I actually, so my family is actually very intertwined in a lot of like the big government agencies. My grandpa was Secret Service. My grandma was CIA. I have someone related to me who is in the FBI, in the anti-terrorist organization. I won't say what position, because you could absolutely look it up and find him, and then you could, do the math and figure out.
He was
like
right.
You could figure out some information. But yeah, and then my dad's friend from childhood is a weapons trainer for, I believe, I can't remember if it's CIA or FBI, but I know he actually trains them on like shooting and stuff. I have not gone out shooting with him, and I need to, but. Yeah, so I almost did, because I don't drink, I don't do any recreational substances, so like I have no criminal record whatsoever, so I am like a clean slate. I am the cleanest slate.
I don't know. I'm pretty clean on that regard. I don't drink, I don't smoke, don't do any of that.
There you go. We could, dude. Let's be the first VTubers in the CIA.
Oh my gosh.
Let's infiltrate other countries as VTubers.
So are you saying that VTubing psyop, or just a VTubing psyop?
Yeah, we could do that though.
Oh my gosh.
For you guys.
Oh no.
I want this for you.
I'll do it for you.
You cleaner than a 1 second old baby? Yes. I mean, I don't.
Have you seen a 1 second old baby? They're not clean. They're gross.
Yeah, that's why I'm cleaner. Yeah.
Look, I don't know about you, but Phantom came on here. You can see there's some oil on those rippling biceps.
Yeah.
So
they're shiny.
But yeah, back to bachata. The thing about it is it's a super fun style of Latin dancing. And like one of my, if you ever want to get a feel for the music of it, um a guy named Prince Royce, he makes he's Colombian, he makes a lot of good music. But one of my favorite songs he's ever done is a cover of Stand By Me, which is the most Spanglish song you'll ever listen to.
Really?
Because he'll start singing oiled up biceps. Anyways, back to dancing. So, oh my gosh, I'm very good at segues, can't you tell?
Yes.
Or non sequiturs. So, but I'm going to read you the lyrics real quick because I think it's really funny to talk about. So, here are the original lyrics. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Classic. Wait, is that was Seal? No, the Benny King. I want the Benny King one.
Chat, are you as disappointed as I am that he read it out as spoken word instead of serenading me? That's, I mean, what is that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I need that little bass in the background and going bum 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 ba da 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 da. Anyway, yeah. So
That would not sync up well over Discord.
So-
Otherwise, I would do it for you.
so if you want, that's the when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. I don't know. I only know the Prince Royce one, so I actually haven't listened to the last. Just as long as you stand by me. So the Prince Royce one goes, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon, or it says, y la luna es la luz que brilla ante mí. Miedo no tendré, oh I won't te asustaré, just as long as you stand by me. So when you hear this is the translation. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the light that shines before me. So pretty normal stuff, it's okay.
Yeah.
It then goes into miedo no tendré. That's no I won't, or is it no I won't be afraid. Oh I won't te asustaré, which goes into oh I won't, I will scare you.
What?
Yeah. So it's just, there's a running joke with me and my buddies where whenever we hear this song, we always laugh when it gets to, oh, I won't te asustaré, just as long as you stand by me. Because it doesn't fit with the original lyrics from Benny King.
At all. Well, that's, you know that the German version of Barbie Girl is like very, very sexist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I always think about when I think of like very bad translations where it's just like they didn't even like bother to try and get like the original vibe of the song. They were just like, I think we'll talk about how women belong in the kitchen and just, you know, we'll roll with that instead of like a child's toy.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I'm sorry, what?
And the thing is Barbie is one of the most, you know, empowering things because she has all of the jobs.
She's got so many certifications.
Look, Ken is a bum. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he's a gold digger.
Gold digger. So yeah.
How much money do you think Barbie has? She's got multiple houses. She's got a pink car. Like,
how much is she paying in taxes? I need to know. Is she in the upper tax bracket?
She probably has her own tax bracket.
Okay, hold up though. What is it off?
Yeah.
Explain.
Waiting for it. Here it comes.
So yeah, before Oth
he's got an essay for us.
Held a message for reason, misogyny. The song quite literally brings up Barbie being a bimbo that you can undress anywhere.
I mean,
I
like, you know,
I didn't want
sure, but oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just looking at my Twitch thing. Add _ permitted _ term bimbo. No, please don't. Twitch, no. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, anyway,
we can call everyone a bimbo now.
But what about a him?
Just read the lyrics.
I've been told many times that I am considered a himbo, into which I say, perhaps. Yes?
You're not wrong.
Yes? So let's see. Yeah, hiya Barbie, hiya Ken. You want to go for a ride? Sure, Ken. Jump in. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. And so it just keeps repeating this.
I love this part.
I'm a blonde bimbo girl. That is.
Is that picking up? Are my snaps picking up?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna read the line before it. Okay, let me bring my mic close so you can hear this. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make it tight. I'm your dolly. You're my doll. Rock and roll. Feel the glamour in pink. Kiss me here, touch me there. Hanky panky. Make me walk, make me talk. Do whatever you please. I can act like a star. I can beg on my knees. Come jump in, bimbo friend. Let us do it again. Hit the town, fool around. Let's go party. What in the name of all that is misogyny? Jeez.
All right. So here's the thing. That's, you know what this is reminding me of? It's reminding me of "Wasn't Me" by Shaggy, where
holy cow,
all my brain needed to know was that he said "wasn't me," and there's just like a guy in the background going, and that's all I knew, and I was like, yeah, it wasn't me. Like, I didn't need to I didn't need the context. I just needed the beats, and yeah, I did not realize it was that charged from the get-go.
So I've never read the lyrics. I've never, like, that's a song I've heard only the chorus of "Come on Barbie, let's go party. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world." That's the only part I've ever heard, because it's not a song I listen to at all.
I mean, you don't wake up to it?
No, I wake up to the Phantom of the Opera because I love the organ. Just
well, you do care.
I do care. Yeah. So yeah, I've never read the lyrics. That is just 1997. Thank you. Why don't you take that and push that back into the year you came from?
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me.
No, nobody asked for that. But guess what? It just happened. I got curious one day and was like, the rest of the song was just like, what the heck? Yeah. So it just occurred to me. We're an hour into this.
Uh-huh.
And I've not asked you any questions. We've just been talking, which honestly I'm here for.
I told you that would happen. I was like, dude, we're just gonna keep going. You're gonna have to rein me in.
Look, all I'm gonna say is it brings for more organic and fun conversation. I'm honestly here for it. So welcome to the show, guys. Just kind of starting over. Welcome to the VOD. Our guest is the Phantom Fame. So yeah, Phantom, the first question I have for you, but we got off track talking about, fighting, dancing, cooking in classrooms, the Barbie girl song. Who are you?
Whether or not flex tape is a movie theater snack.
Flex tape is a movie theater snack. So, who are you, and what is your story?
Okay, so I am the Phantom Fame, and that is very literal, where I am essentially, or I guess I should say, I'm a little different from other VTubers in that I'm not so much role-playing my model or trying to bring my model to life as like a different personality. It's more of a concept. And so the Phantom Fame is the dream I had as a kid of being a singer, a comedian, an entertainer, something in the spotlight that I just kind of let fall to the wayside in lieu of the dream of, you know, starting a family, becoming and becoming like, you know, a family man, and just, you know, working like the regular 9 to 5 and just being very just sort of like living my life and focusing on the family aspects rather than like the career aspects. So the Phantom Fame really is me just sort of saying, you know what, like I'm making really good headway on that front, but I still miss that idea of like pursuing a dream. What my sister, actually, the other middle child, because there are 4 of us, and I am the second oldest. So the other middle child is actually pursuing a career in music. I'd love to plug her stuff. I'd love to promote her, but she uses her real name, so I can't do that while VTubing,
Yeah,
because that is an
understandable.
instadox.
Understandable.
Yep. So that was a choice she made. But so watching her pursue her dream just lit a fire in me. And she and I both play guitar and sing. And she very often will try to get me, whenever she's doing a show and I'm present, she tries to get me up on stage, because she's like, I know if I can get him to do it one more time, or if I can get him on stage this one time, maybe he'll pursue this dream with me. And it is incredibly tempting every time. But even though I haven't really gone up and helped her out more than like once, it's just like that fire, just like every time I see her doing something, it just like it rekindles that flame. And when my wife and I were having trouble conceiving, I was like, okay, this could take a couple of years. This could take a really long time for us to reach this goal. And I was like, you know what? I put my dreams on the back burner, and I was like, nowadays, because when I was a kid, there wasn't streaming, there wasn't VTubing, there wasn't the internet was in its infancy. Like, if Karen picked up the phone to call my neighbor 300 feet away, that was it. I was no longer playing Adventure Quest. I was waiting for AOL to come back online and her to finish talking to my neighbor for 2 hours. So it was like the dream has completely changed since I was a kid. And I just realized, I was like, I have all this free time. I have I already had a very nice setup. I just needed a beefier computer. And I have a wife who loves and supports me and everything I do. I have so much free time. I have great friends that also love to do things online and have tried to make a name for themselves streaming. And I just realized, I was like, there's no reason for me not to start. There's literally no reason. And I really like the idea of, rather than putting on the mask and the persona, I feel like I myself I am good enough. I'm good enough to be in the spotlight as I am. And that's not to put down anyone who does like to use a moniker or likes to use their avatar and really dive into like the role-playing aspect or the persona. It's more that I want it to be me. I've always wanted it to be me. I knew I wanted it to be me. And I feel like I am only the greatest I can be when I'm being as much myself as I can be. And I think that really comes across in my streams, that you're talking to the genuine article. I'm not BSing if I'm taking interest in what you're doing. If I'm watching your stream, it's not because I'm just like, oh, I'll come support you. It's no, I want to see what you're up to. I want to see what you're doing. I'm taking that interest. And I think people are resonating with it. And it's done really well for me so far, and I'm hoping it continues that way.
That is wonderful to hear, man. I could have just listened to that forever. You know, that's because what's interesting is that actually brings up a like one of the questions I had, or the sequence questions I had, actually talks about, you know, your aspect of that, where you're very transparent about, you know, some of the details of your life. And you know, you clearly explained why. It's because you're not trying to be something you're not. Instead, it's you're being your true self in that regard. How do you manage that? How do you find that balance between being transparent enough without divulging too much information?
That is the toughest part. And I think it's it's really not as difficult as some people make it out to be, because I'm not trying to be like, I did it first. Like I tried not to mention my wife, because I was like, I don't really know how much I want to put out there, how much like information would be too much, because and then I realized that I didn't have a problem sharing the information. I mean, just the other day I had a stream talking about, I literally cried on stream on Tuesday, talking about how we just found out that we're after like a year and a half of fertility issues, we finally got pregnant right as we started like doing fertility consultations. And I literally was talking about the struggles I've had watching my friend JG, who conceived instantly the moment they started trying. And I was talking about, I was trying to put it out there for other people that it's like, I think it's important to have those resources. And thank you. I think it's important to talk about, because I think I'm a very emotionally intelligent, I'm a very friendly and honest person. And I had to, it was the first time I've really needed to lock something away to preserve something else. I needed to put those terrible emotions in a box, and like could let people know the box was there, but I did not want to open it, so that way my friends could have their time in the spotlight and not worry about, oh well, how's Phantom feel about this. So I realized that the problem wasn't how much I wanted to share. It's okay, am I sharing so much that people could find me? Like, and that's what I realized is I don't really care how much people know about me. I feel like I've said a lot of things on stream that there are people in my life that I haven't told some of that stuff to. My friends don't know that we're pregnant yet. The only people who know that we're pregnant are my family and the people who have come to my stream and people who have seen me talk about it online. That is it. Like and there are some people like that are really close friends. There's someone in my D&D group who I have been seeing every Wednesday for the past 7 years. He doesn't know yet. He will if he watches my streams, but I know he's super busy with his own. He's got a lot of really exciting stuff coming up in his personal life, so he hasn't had time. But yeah, the issue is more I don't want to dox myself, and that's all there is to it. That's the only divide there is. The hardest part is not calling my friends by their name and not referring to myself in the third person as my given name.
Oh, I can completely understand that. I mean, there are some people who, like, especially streamers, for instance, that they stream with a VTuber model. However, they kind of make sure that they separate their, you know, they have their, how do I explain this? They stream with a model, but they have their names out there, and they make it known, but it can be a very delicate balance. I mean, especially when it comes to doxing, especially like with what's happening on YouTube, for instance. It's a very dangerous game to play, but at the same time, it kind of also feels like something else. Like, my next question is, do you think at a certain point it becomes a responsibility for the streamer to be transparent? Now, I'm not saying giving information, like giving all of your known information to your chat or your community, but do you think that you have a responsibility to be transparent with your community about, certain things?
Some things, maybe. And I think that's sort of up to what kind of, I've talked about this a lot, because I think it depends on what type of community you want to build. So for me, the biggest thing I've talked about is wanting to build a community rather than a fan base, because there is a difference. And a difference I feel, and it may sound a little corny, it may sound cheesy, but I think that if you watch my streams, you watch the way I've interacted with people, you'll understand that the execution is the difference. So building a fan base is like, if I like Fallout Boy, and I'm like, yeah, I go to their concerts and like I buy their CDs, like I follow their stuff. I'm not like, it can be considered a community. People will call it a community, but it's a fan base, because I don't know any of them. Like, I don't really know like their personal information, and that's just because they're so huge.
Of course.
And for smaller content creators, it's much more like, I could name probably most of my followers offhand. I could definitely tell you who's been active in my stream for the past week and a half. I could probably list off every single name of people who have come into my stream and have sent more than 5 chats. I think I could list every single one, and I might even be able to tell you what order they were, because I have taken the time to interact with them. I have had open engagements where I, like when we've been playing Phasmophobia, I open up the room and I say, hey, here's my Discord. Inside the Discord is the room code. If you want to jump in, jump in. Yesterday, I had the first person who jumped into the stream, sent a chat and was like, hey, I'm interested in playing. Can I play? And I was like, absolutely, jump in. We played for like an hour and he was awesome. And I had a really good time. And that was something where I feel like in a larger streamer, when you jump in, like if I jump into a 5,000 person stream, I'm not going to be able to get that one-on-one time. So I'm trying to really build the foundation of what I want the community to be, with the understanding that if we do at some point hit like, like 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, we get to the point where I can actually like partner, or like we're getting up subscribers where I can switch over to doing this full time, or like I can do this part-time and pick up a part-time job instead of my full-time job, then it's at that point it will likely change over. But for now, I love that it's a community. It's very tight-knit. There are lots of moving parts to it, but people will like jump in stream and they're not just excited for me. Like specific, like Marie and Robe get along incredibly well, and they met through my stream, through playing Phasmophobia, and they both go crazy when they find out the other person is in. They're like, I'm totally there. Let's go. Let's get this.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's so awesome, because now that Robe is back to stream again, I'm sure that they're going to do collabs without me, and it's going to snowball. And it just feels really cool to be able to say, hey, those are both my friends. I can now go watch their content and see them interacting on their own. It's really, really cool. And I feel like that is I feel like there's a duty at the moment to sort of be transparent, because I want to build a community. I don't want to build a fan base. I feel like the more you keep hidden behind walls, the less people can say that they know who you are, but they also don't. So you might be able to make the argument that like they are connecting, they're just connecting with your persona rather than you. That's still a community.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I just feel like my greatest strength really just comes from my like inability, like my persistent ability to stay positive and to stay friendly. And I think that for me specifically, it would be stifling if I kept information from the stream. And there will be information that I don't let out. Like obviously I'm not going to constantly be talking about like, I'm not going to constantly be giving updates about like the pregnancy, or like if there's something going on in my life that's a little stressful, I might keep it a little under wraps. But it'll very much be like I'll probably say it in passing at some point and then move on. Because for me, if it's something that's important enough for me that it's bothering me, it's affecting me, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to want to talk about it, because I am at this point, I've streamed a ton.
Yeah.
I've streamed so much. I have streamed, let me see if it'll actually tell me. Yeah, 117 hours in the past 3 weeks since I've started streaming. So that's I've streamed every day. I've streamed for 117 hours total. So that's a big chunk of my life. It really is like a second job right now, but I love doing it. And I feel like if I spent that much time just trying to like put stuff in a box and say, all right, this is personal life, you stay over here, this is stream life, now we open this box, I mean, I'd be code switching so much I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up that size, because we're going to talk about that a little later. But it's interesting that you brought up each person pretty well who comes into your chat. Like I feel the same way about my chat, that when I start to stream and I see the people coming in, talking, I know them, I know how long they have been a part of my channel, You know, like for instance, Off, he was one of the first followers that I got when I started last month. So, but like with that, it's the bookcase behind me. If I move my head, I'm currently working on a project with that where that bookcase will be updated, and all of those little books right there will have a name of all of the followers I have until it fills up that bookcase. You know, you're calling it the founding followers. And so, but the thing that came up to me recently, I'm like, well, if I happen to grow bigger, you know, at a certain point, I'm going to lose that connection that I have, that personal connection I have with these followers, these people, because these are people, much like you and I are both people behind these models. You know,
Absolutely,
these are real people who are behind these accounts. Let me readjust my chair. But these are real people behind these accounts that are following, staying with us for the journey. Oh my gosh, my phone! Ah! I had to sit up in my chair and readjust my phone. And it completely threw my face tracking.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. That's what I have. I have to, because of the parameters I've set. I am literally like side-eyeing you right now because I have it. Because I have. I mean, my field of view. I have the ultra wide, so I have a 49-inch monitor and then two 27s on the side. So I have my phone set up in the center.
Yeah.
And so because I don't want it to look like I'm turning my head like a crazy person, and it like really distorts the 2D image.
Yeah.
So like I have it so that my eyes don't actually move as far on my model as they do in real life. And so to make it look right, I have to put you all the way on one side, and I have to like look over to the side, but also point my face at the microphone.
Oh dear. Like
So I have been dealing with that the entire time, just like keep your eyes on him.
Like for me right now, I for this show specifically, I actually adjust my model where normally, because you've seen my streams, my face, like my eyes are very active and you can see where my eyes are going, but I actually kind of turn that off for when I do the show because it just makes it easier for me to adjust my model. And
so smart.
Where I just turn my model in a direction, I stick it there because I'm looking straight ahead, but my model is tilted to the right. And since I don't need to really look around, or since I don't need to change my model direction, like currently I'm looking at my monitor to the left, but you wouldn't know because my gaze doesn't change. See, it just follows where my head goes.
Yeah.
So
that's so smart. I should have done that. I just didn't want to mess with all my parameters.
So, but yeah. So what was I talking about? Growing as that was one of my biggest fears is growing as a creator. Is if I did happen to grow, you know, I'm afraid that you lose that personal connection you have, because I always bring this up, but you know, I'll never stop bringing it up, is Markiplier's 12 million subscriber special, where we broke down and he cried during it, and when we was asked why, it's because he's like, because I know what it's at that, you know, at when you get so big, you get to a point where they just become followers, just become numbers, because you can't interact with them on a personal level.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. You know, imagine, because like there's millions of people who watch Markiplier's videos, you know, either when he streams or when he, you know, just posts a video that he's on YouTube, is that he can't interact with them. He can't interact with all of them. And so it's, you know, maybe it helps on Twitch, you know, when unfortunately, it's kind of sad that the only way you kind of set yourself apart is if you like are a sub on a channel, because then you kind of have a little more, you can kind of swim a little faster ahead of all the people who are around you, because you can get noticed a little easier, because at that point you're paying money and directly supporting the creator.
Well, and you can see it evolve, because like I really like Doug stuff. He was my
man who eats butter on stream without context.
Yeah, he kind of like brought me back into, because I watched Twitch initially when like Pro Jared was streaming like years ago.
Oh yeah,
years ago. And I still do really like Pro Jared. I mean, I think that it's very like I think the controversy just absolutely killed his channel, and especially he just waited too long to basically come back out and say, hey, she's crazy and I actually have proof, and this is why you shouldn't have been mean to me. And by that point, the damage was so done that there was just nothing to be done for it. But yeah, like, so I watched a little bit of his streams. And it was, it was fine. I usually just watch them for like almost like the VODs. I got into Small Ant a while ago, got into Small Ant and Point Crow, then they had a falling out and then I kind of fell off. And then I started watching Doug and I got really into it, where I was actually participating, watching the streams live and like sending chats. And I just realized how much better it felt than just watching like videos where it's like, all right, well, yeah, that's cool, but I really like almost feeling like I'm a part of it. And even if I can't contribute, he has a lot of things where chat can vote on things and they can decide stuff, and you just feel like you're part of it again. Because I feel like in like YouTube space, as much as I still love it, I still watch it, there's no way to interact with anyone really, other than like if you leave a nasty comment, they might call you out for it. But for streaming, like what you were saying with like, yeah, like you're gonna eventually not be able to interact as well, and then it changes to subscribers. Yeah, it evolves because you kind of have to change, and I think it just sucks that you eventually start almost like pricing. You almost like gatekeep it by pricing it at because if you go into someone's stream who has like, if I go into Doug's stream and I just follow, he won't acknowledge it. He doesn't have time to acknowledge all the people who are following him. If you subscribe to him, sometimes he'll acknowledge it, but he's to the point where now you have to sub for like a year for him to be like, hey, thanks for the 1 year, blah 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 blah. And even then, he doesn't catch it every single time. So it goes up almost in stages, where it starts with followers, where it really starts with chatters when you're real small.
Yeah.
Like the size I am now, like I'll notice any chatter come in, I'll be like, hey there. And I'm starting to hit the point where I'll still recognize chatters. I'll still like greet them and ask how they found me, like where they're coming from, and what they're looking for. And I'm sure at some point in the near future, it'll start moving on to followers will be like the lowest tier. Like if someone random just jumps and starts chatting, it may not be like a full like, hey, like good to have you here. Like, who are you? What do you do? It might turn into just like a, hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream, and moving on. Because like if you start gaining traction, you start having hundreds of people that are watching your stream, you can't take the time to derail every time someone new comes in, because you might be getting like 3 to 4 people coming in at a time, and that might be in like just like a 1 hour span. If you're really popular, you're really gaining traction, that's entirely possible. Where you're just getting like a slew of new people, and how do you recognize all of them? And the hard, the easy, and the only answer is you can't. Like, you can try, but all you can do is your best.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it really is, because there's just not much you can do. So it changes from like you can recognize every chatter to then you recognize every follow, then recognizing every sub, and then at some point you're only recognizing the long-term subs or the people that you've modded or VIP'd. Because at that point, once you start hitting like 1,000 people and like 1,000 concurrent live viewers, like you start getting the point where it's like chat is just rolling on by and there's no way to catch it. There is no way to catch it. Even if there are people that you know or that you really like, you cannot pick them out of that crowd. It's just too tough. I've seen it many, many times where it's like people have tried, and you can sometimes, but yeah, it's just the reality of going for that fame aspect, where it then switches gears from, okay, like you were building a community, you could sort of like get by interacting with people one-on-one. Now it's up to you to make sure that your content is good enough to keep people coming, and that you are able to manage some form of interaction and keep those people invested and make them feel like they are a part of this community, rather than it turning to a fan base of like Like I know with you and me, with we're big Grump fans. We're lovelies, and
Yeah.
I have uh, I have been watching Grumps since they started because I was talking to my buddy and he was like, "Yeah, you've never seen an Ego Raptor cartoon? You have to have." And I was like, "I don't remember if I've seen them." And he pulled up, he looked up Aaron Hansen Ego Raptor on YouTube and it pulled up the promo. And when we went over the first Kirby was it Kirby's? Oh, it was some Kirby video or something. I think it was Kirby All Stars, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like just uploaded like a couple hours before. So we've been watching from like square one. And I remember when I first learned that Aaron is not super energetic outside of the videos. And they're like, no, Aaron is like the most chilled out, like sweet, genuine person. In the videos, he is like a spaz. Like he just goes crazy sometimes. And that's kind of where it ends up, where it's like you do what you got to do to make sure that you're keeping people engaged, you're keeping them entertained, because you can't interact with them one-on-one anymore. You've got to find a way to reach out to everyone and make everyone feel like this is something that's worth their time, because there's hundreds of thousands of people out there, and you got to prove why you're worth it. And that can be daunting.
It's a very hard thing for people to try and cope with, because I mean, like for instance, whether you have multiple people in stream or you don't have anybody in your stream, you know, either way, it's still a thing that a lot of people try and rationalize, because the lack of people or the abundance of people still affect you in one way or another.
Absolutely.
Especially as a streamer. Now, something that caught my attention was when you said that you said that when you were following Doug, and coincidentally yesterday, like it was like yesterday or 2 days ago, my buddy was showing me a Doug video, because we were grinding in Payday 2, because we had to do a mission for 30 minutes. And we're like, you know what, why don't we just watch a Doug video? And he's like, I'm like, okay, I've never seen one. And so it was a tier list ranking of Billy Mays commercials.
Yes, I love that video.
And so
it's so good.
And so there, you know, there's just so many people in his chat, and you know, so many people watching. But at the same time, I feel like at a certain point, even if you get that big, if you're doing things where you can still have the community jump in and interact and be a part of it, I feel like there's still that semblance of connection, because like seeing how many people vote in those polls, you know, they're actively taking part and making decisions, you know, or like Small Ant, for instance, you know, some people, you know, and I understand that for his media streams, people are paying money to put videos on there. But you know, it's like, I believe it's like a couple cents.
It's not that expensive.
So,
no.
you know, it's like I don't know what the conversion rate is, but it's like a couple cents for a couple seconds of a video. But even then, you know, you're still doing things where you can participate to some capacity with the streamer you're following. And so
I love his media streams. They're awesome.
Oh, they're really funny. Specifically, like anytime Fly Me to the Moon gets brought up, it's the funniest thing.
Oh god, yes.
So
fun.
But even, you know, even then, it's just like there's still, I feel like getting big, there's still things you can do to really connect with your audience, even though you can't do it one-on-one anymore. It's just like by adding these little things, you know, polls, or, you know, just choosing to do things, you know, maybe you have an extension that allows your followers to, you know, do things, the whole redeem bits, where at a certain, you know, you will notice them, you'll acknowledge them. So there are little ways that you can be involved with the streamer you're following, and then same for the streamer who's hosting it. You know, you're allowing your chat to still be in, even though you can't be like, hey so and so, if there's like 5,000 people watching. If that makes sense.
It just takes a lot of technical knowledge and or moderation. Like with Doug, I love Doug's bits. How you can it's 300 bits, and then you type cheer 300, and then you type a message, and it will read it out in an AI voice that he chose.
Aw, thank you, Breezy. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the follow.
Breezy!
I really appreciate that.
It's super dope.
speaking of, guess what?
Even closer.
I love being a smaller creator because that means I get to acknowledge every single one, and that's like, at least for me, if I grow bigger, I'm like, I don't care how many people are here, I will acknowledge us to the best of my capacity.
Yep.
So, and actually, an extension I was looking at recently, which is kind of funny, is where was it? I think it was like a followers train instead of a subscribers. I think it was for followers.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of neat to think about. It takes bits, I think. Choose bits you'd like for a viewer to use to celebrate and click save. Yeah, so it's... Because I was just looking at that, because I want to talk about that a little bit with the extensions and all that. I figured you'd say something like that. Aw, thanks, Breezy. Like I said, being a smaller creator, you see all these things, these people who come in, they choose you for you. And like doubling back to Rinthio, who was on the show yesterday, talking about how the stuff that you do, ultimately, it is a reflection of who you are. And it doesn't matter what you do. It's people who see what you're doing. They're following you for you. They're not following you for the model. Maybe some people are following, like, maybe you're Shy Lily.
People do thirst over this model a little bit, and I actually was talking to someone about a commission today, because I was like, hey, your art is like super dark, super sexy. I was like, I have an idea for you. Tell me what you think about this. Let's make straight men question if they're still straight.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, I'm in. Yeah, but yes, you are right. Some people do just come. Most people will come for you, even if they come in for the model. They stay for the person.
Yeah,
100% agree.
So there's just a lot of things that are involved, a lot of moving pieces, where you just kind of. It's easy to get bogged down in a lot of the details and a lot of the minutia, For those that don't know, minutia is small details. So fun fact, I always thought minutia was like another word for crap.
What? What?
Yeah,
why?
No. Because growing up in the US, growing up in the West Coast, because I'll say I'm from the West Coast area. Guess what? You suddenly have that. They're now, and I don't live on the West Coast anymore. Don't worry, you can't find me. I don't live there anymore. But growing up there, especially with a lot of the different kind of melting pots of people that come in, something I grew up around a lot was horse property, and because of that, a lot of these colloquial slangs, regional things. Saying minutia was just like it was similar to manure.
Right, yeah.
So sometimes some people are like, you're just full of minutia, or you just, because if you say you don't get bogged down in the minutia of something, you're getting bogged down in the crap of it. You're getting bogged down in the small stuff. So it could kind of be used interchangeably. I mean, it doesn't mean crap, it means small details. Regardless of dictionary definitions, it's very easy as a streamer to get bogged down in a lot of these small things that you ultimately have no control over. And, I don't know if you've experienced that, any existentialism in your streaming career recently. I know I have, because just talking about this, we kind of you just sit there and think about, there's a point where I can't interact with everybody, or, they will just become numbers, and guess what? I won't acknowledge the new viewers, I won't acknowledge new commenters. I'll just be acknowledging the new subscribers, or VIPs or mods.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing. It's kind of like a social contract where it's like they understand. Like when I went into Doug's chat and I followed, I knew that was going to do literally nothing other than like Waluigi might show up and do a little dance. Like I knew that was the extent of it, was that a little dance would pop up on screen while things were happening, probably 2 minutes down the line, because there was 5 people who also followed ahead of me. So like, I think it's kind of like an understanding where it's like, at some point they do understand that's like, you can't react to everyone. And it's like, it's not also your job to interact to absolutely everything. Like, as long as you're doing your best and you're putting your best foot forward and you're trying to make good quality content, people will recognize that, and that's what they come to see.
Wait, good quality
So-
content. Well, I guess I gotta go. No, just kidding.
I don't know why in my brain I was like, did he just hit affiliate? Is he about to run an ad? like,
Yes, me and my
I
40s.
was like, was that the one he needed? Because I was actually ahead of you when you started streaming, which is just funny because I just did like, I hadn't started VTubing yet, but I had people who follow me when I did do IRL streams, like not many. It was like 14. But yeah, I just remember like being like, oh yeah, me and Val are growing at like the same time, and then like today you're like, yeah, and we're like 4 ways. Like, what? Like, what did that happen? What stream did I miss that like he had like all this interaction on? That's so awesome. I'm guessing it's the VOD, but I for real thought that I was like, did he just hit like affiliate and just like, like did he just start rolling ads? Because Robe started streaming again recently, and he's been an affiliate, but he stopped streaming for 2 years, and so he was like, yeah, I can't turn off ads anymore. Oof. And he was like, during streaming, he was like, oh, hold up, Phantom, I can't turn off the ad, and then the ad started rolling.
Yeah, no, I'm currently at 47, so I just need 3 more to hit that 50 mark. But the thing is, that's something you have me beat on, which is wonderful. I'm happy you have it. I am at for my average, where is it? For my average, I'm at I think 2.75 average viewers. So, you know,
that's good. Yeah, that's so close. That's so close to what you need, though.
So, yeah, and but at the same time, it's not something I am currently, you know, trying to be like, all right, guys, let's get this. I need 3 average viewers. It's more of, you know, I'm actually the one I'm looking forward to is the build a community one, where that gets to I get to enable VIP status for members. Ooh. So that's the one I care about more, because, you know, it separates the people who've been here, who comment and get to do that. So it's so much fun, you know, but there's so many good people to follow, like yourself. Like, you get, so because when I look at my thing, I have 33 hours streamed in the past 30 days.
I hate to interrupt. Off has it 100% channel points, so you can make him do funky stuff. For me, it's emotes. I really want emotes for stuff. 100%. Off is based as shit, dude. That's 100% what I want is the channel points. That is
Same.
like, because I totally agree. That's like, I don't really care, and then I think about the fun stuff I'll be able to do once I hit affiliate, and I'm like, I care so much right now.
Well, like, because I already am planning, I'm already designing things for, because at this point I can say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I'm about, well, actually no, it still is a matter of when. But that's not the point. The point is the amount of things that I have planned. Like, for instance, I can't wait to get the Twitch integrated throwing service and just have it be exclusively Dr. Pepper cans. Just being
the what?
The Twitch
integrated throwing service? What are you talking about?
You don't know what the Twitch integrated throwing system is? Okay, hold on. So
no, why would I know what that is? That's the weird, like, what?
Chat, do you know what the Twitch integrated throwing system is? So look at the acronym for a moment. Did I break his brain?
Oh, it did. You said look at the acronym, and I literally checked every monitor to try and see where you might have sent me the acronym.
You guys don't know what the Twitch integrated throwing system is?
I was like, is this about the freaking Dr. Pepper can that you keep raving about? Like,
yes. So, it is the Twitch integrated throwing system, also known as TITS. So what it is You see when people throw things in like a stream? Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't think I have.
No?
I don't think so.
All right. We're going to go on a journey real quick.
Okay,
I'm gonna
let's
pull up a
take a
video,
ride.
and we as a chat, you as a guest, we're going to watch this together.
Ooh, are we reacting? Hold on, are we reactors?
That's the one, Breezy. Are we reactors?
I can't wait.
So, let me do this. I have to swap places with my stream and with my browser. So I'll pull that out as a separate thing.
Yo, while you're doing that, I realized like an hour ago that there's a fruit fly somehow got into my apple juice, and I could slay the innocent right now. I'm so mad.
Oh no.
Let me just sneak over here.
The apple juice. I don't remember that device.
All right, there we go. I just grabbed a gallon of juicy juice fruit punch, which I will probably accidentally set in front of my camera at some point.
All
What was
right.
bothering me too? Yeah, I had an issue with my tortoise enclosure. I left too many I left like day old greens in there, and then it got gnats, and then I dealt with the greens, but I didn't deal with the gnats, and they really like wet soil, and I have an 8-foot by 4-foot patch of soil. So yeah, I didn't deal with it for like a week, and then like all of last week I have at any given time 5 fruit flies in my mouth at the same time, and it was awesome.
Oh, that's rough.
Reptile girl, Breezy, we'll talk.
So I think it's still playing the music. Oh, maybe not. I'll just do my desktop audio, and I'm going to mute the other audio source.
Is that me?
Yeah, so that way it doesn't double.
Yeah.
It doesn't double dip. So this is what it is.
You never got to throw calls, you were never picked for dodgeball.
This is the Twitch integrated throwing system.
Grimble chaos.
Oh.
Literally, this is my dream to have.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I didn't realize Twitch integrated this.
So, well, because this is an add-on. Let me go back to this. That is an add-on.
Where am I?
So, because I did send, I did send it in the Discord. Which, you know, if you're not part of the Discord already, this is why people are throwing these celebrities IRL. But yeah, so, well, my goodness, where did it go?
Word, yes.
Why do you do it in a single word? Chaos. I'll do my plug right now. If you're not a part of the Discord, here's the Discord. I need to have a bot that automates that.
I
But
haven't
yeah.
done it either, and I've gotten yelled at so many times. Because I haven't. Trust me.
So yeah, that's what that is. That's my biggest thing that I'm excited for about with the whole affiliate thing, is just because the idea of getting Dr. Pepper cans thrown at me is just really funny. So yeah, we'll probably collaborate pretty soon. So we'll talk more about that, you know, on Phantom stream. So yeah, but back to the questions, because this is something I am really interested in hearing about.
All right.
You talked about because I know when you debuted. I was there for your debut. That was October 1st. October 1st.
Yeah.
It was October 1st. And you had been in my chat since I started streaming. You had been there from the beginning, day 2. I know you were there. And
yeah, I'm the guy who did the Nick thing.
Yes.
We talked about this.
Yes, you are. Oh, I'll never
I was the
forget.
one who made the joke that you were Nick and your chat was also Nick because someone was it was like someone on the enemy team was named Nick in like TF2.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that started the whole thing of just referring to everyone as Nick, and it's so funny to me.
And then I played freaking Project Zomboid. Now it's everybody is Nick, and if you're not a Nick, you're a Greg.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which
I think they did that too. Because Greg is like my go-to name. I don't know why. I only know like one Greg, I think.
so, but the point being is, you've been here since the beginning. You have, for me, and I was there when you started. Now, when we look at my stream schedule, I only stream. Don't worry, you'll be forever known as femboy to me. Oth, you're gonna just bully me over that. You're like Drew. Who's Drew?
You idiot.
Wait.
just immediately code switch to calling you Drew forever.
Am I getting gaslit by my chat?
You mean Nick?
Wait. Okay. Sorry, I had to think about that for a moment. I blame you. My gosh. Oh. Oh my goodness. So, whew, back to the whole thing. With that, we look at my schedule. I have a very consistent stream schedule. Just because I lead a very busy life outside of work, you know. I don't mean to break any immersion, guys. Sorry, this is a part-time thing. This is a hobby. I have a real job I have outside of streaming. I work 8 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, with my weekends off. And then I donate plasma, because I've said it before. I'm a college boy. I donate plasma on Mondays and Wednesdays. That's why I don't stream Mondays and Wednesdays, and I just like having my Friday free. So Danny Gonzalez, what's the name?
I'm terrified of needles, so I couldn't do that.
I'm also terrified of needles, but money.
You're a good boy then. You're an extra good boy. I can, I might be able to throw things at you with tits, but like, can I just pat your head as well?
Oh, that's what I need. Oh, thank you.
That's built into VTube Studio. You can add that where it's just like the little hand going like.
Oh, I need to do that as a sticker, that I can just thing.
Danny Gonzalez, his fans are called Greg. That's so funny. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Look, I don't know. It's just it's a thing. It do be like that sometimes. Crap, I can't speak now. What is it? You either die a Nick or live long enough to see yourself become a Greg. My gosh, that took so much effort to just say. All right, so watch this. We're gonna do this real quick, but I'll continue with.
Are you banishing me again?
Oh, I'm not banishing you.
I don't want to go back to the Shadow Realm.
So I'll go back. I got that good blood, but ain't no taking it because I'll probably die. So that's how busy my schedule is. Boop. Oh, boop. So for now.
Oh, he's gone.
For now. For now, I'll put you there.
Okay.
So for me, that's how busy I am with a lot of my stuff. Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Step around all sorts of fun things. Oh, this is so much easier on my eyes. Just straight ahead. Holy shit! I didn't realize how much of a headache that was giving me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I also had a ponytail up, so it could have been that too. Who knows? Interview the couch? So what's in between those cushions, huh?
All right, you're gonna get a little funky real quick.
Maybe a dime? I'm gonna get funky? Like how? Like Chromio funky? Or oh, I'm gone.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm
Uh,
oh, I'm like a bunny. What am I doing over here? You got the headbands. Look at you.
I
Okay,
did.
that's what you were doing. I was like, why did he put me in the seat? What's happening right now? Is he like, hey, I gotta go, like, pick up the kids from the church store.
The church
take over stream for a
store.
little bit. Yeah, I was like, I
We're-
know, I know Val trusts me not to do anything nuts, but like, what is he about to throw on me?
This is this is then turned. So that's kind of what happened yesterday with my guest Rinthio, where we just kind of swapped spots, and I was on the couch and he was at my desk.
That's
So
funny.
where'd the hand come from? It came from Phantom, because Phantom wanted to give me headbats.
It's one of the many spirits that gathers in the haunted amphitheater.
So, but yeah,
Give him this.
so I have a very set schedule when I stream. I stream Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. and I stream Saturday, Sunday at 2 p.m. Now, with you, you stream about, like, since you debuted October 1st, over the past few weeks, you've been streaming for about 6 to 8 hours. How are you managing that? Because 6 to 8 hours is considered full time.
Yes. Yeah.
So explain that a little.
Yeah. Well, so because when you meter it out, like I said earlier, I can literally check the actual number because I have streamed every single day. I haven't streamed yet today. I'm gonna have to stream after this. So if you're down for some Faz later.
Oh, I'd be down.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'm so excited now. I'm so excited.
Because I still got to do the weekly thing.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, I don't know if I want to help you with that.
Oh, that's fair.
That's Sunny Meadows on challenge mode.
Audio only, baby.
Oh God.
So, but yeah, you're full time.
117 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And we are we're on the 22nd. So if you break that down, that's 40 hours a week. I mean, obviously today notwithstanding, because I haven't streamed yet today. So you're right, it has been a full-time job. And I've streamed every day, even on the weekends. And I even streamed while I was on like a quote-unquote vacation. Like I drove 4 hours to a beach town, of which I will not name, went to a wedding, and then also made time to ride bikes on the boardwalk and spend time with the missus.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been kind of difficult. I got a text from the wife last night that literally read out like, I don't know if this streaming schedule is gonna work out for me. And I was like, okay, I'll keep it down, because I was getting very rowdy last night. Because we got like 3 followers and we had a little bit of a dry spell, and so and I am also, people are chomping at the bit for emotes, so I am starting to kind of put a little more pressure on myself to try to reach affiliate a little faster. But it's been awesome, and so here's the thing: I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning. I get dressed, I pee, and I go to work. I do all the morning routine, all that stuff. Go to work, and then I come back at 5. And the nice thing is, I live really close to where I work. It takes me less than 50 minutes to get home. And,
Takes me like 5.
yeah. Well, yeah. So I get home, and then I immediately turn on my computer, basically see how the YouTube uploads went, because I record everything in 2K 60 frames because I am a whore for quality. So it takes like 12 hours to upload and then 12 hours for it to process to HD.
Ooh.
So I'm constantly having to upload stuff, especially since I've done a lot of long streams. And then I basically jump on until midnight. I basically stream from 6 my time to midnight.
Oh dear.
Most of the time, not always. And yeah, it can be kind of difficult. It was more difficult doing so in the hotel room where I didn't have my normal setup. But my normal day-to-day is coming downstairs and jumping in Discord and talking to my friends and playing games. The only difference is that now my friends are getting called by their screen name, and I'm not always playing with them directly. And they can hear me. They can hear me, but I can't hear them, which is kind of fine.
Makes sense.
Not the end of the world, but yeah, for me it's more I want to make sure there's a breadth of content that's out there because I do want to I want to do what I've seen a lot of other content creators do, where they stream very often and they stream for a good amount of time whenever they do stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will take those VODs, publish them on a VOD channel on YouTube. They will have another channel that is longer form videos that are edited down into sections.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have shorts like TikToks or YouTube shorts or like essentially what Vines used to be, stuff like that, where it's just like little clips. And so I am trying to get to that point where that is what I do.
Adios, Breezy. We're actually going to be finishing up in a moment after this question.
So I want to make sure that I am putting in as much effort as possible. Like I said, this was before I realized that. This was when I thought that we weren't going to be able to have kids for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm going at it hard. I ordered I got all my commissions done. Like, I got my model, my background, and then I gave myself a whole month while I was ordering more commissions of things that I didn't realize I didn't have, and I spent that entire time promoting and just posting every week. I had some form of promotion going up where I said, okay, this is what I'm doing. Like, hey, this is me. Like, this is my concept for my VTuber design. Like, come see me on October 1st. Or, hey, all right, this is what we're doing. Like, this is a picture I had commissioned of me. Come see me on October 1st. The next one, I had the dream speech, which I play before I go live every single time.
Yeah.
The theme music for like 10 to 15 minutes. And then you know that the stream is going to start in 2 minutes when the music stops and it starts the dream speech, which is my VTuber concept. And I spent that month networking, watching streams like yours to learn what I could do better or what I've seen other people do that I want to improve or I want to take in and use myself. So yeah, I just really put the time in, and that's why I was able to have 7 people when I went live, and it felt amazing because I was expecting to go with nobody and potentially have nobody see the stream other than my friends who I wasn't even sure if they'd be on the entire time, and luckily they were, and it did really well for me, and it gave this really professional quality to it, and I've just been rolling with it because I really do want this to work out. I'm the type of person where it's like when I commit to something, I commit. I go hard, man. So I don't have time to slow down. I don't have time to give leeway on this sort of stuff because I love it. I absolutely love streaming. It's been a blast, and it's been 120 hours that I've streamed this month, and it doesn't feel like I've been doing a second full-time job. It just feels like I have a hobby that I'm very into that just, for the first time ever, it makes me have to segment time out to work on it.
So then this is the last thing I'll ask you is, do you have any advice for somebody who just started, who, how they can manage their time and their schedule, considering, because for me, some people, or for me, I'd say do it at your own pace and do what's the most right. I don't think you need 4 hours of stream, 48 hours of stream in the beginning. It's not a necessity because I like doing 2-hour streams because it's just more time efficient for me. Now that's gonna be different for you. You've been doing 8-hour streams, so you can testify to that. So what advice do you have for that?
So my biggest advice is do whatever makes you the most comfortable. I agree with you, go at your own pace. For me, I am a marathon gamer. When I play a game, I will play the crap out of it until I've beaten it. And, or if I'm just enjoying it, I'll play the crap out of it. So I think my biggest advice that I would give when it comes to scheduling is learn what your limits are and make sure that when you are streaming, that someone is going to be there who's going to be able to tell you if you are surpassing your limits. So when I was doing the Lords of the Fallen stream, I wanted to do it the day it came out because I was like, I do want to kind of bandwagon again. People really want those emotes. They're very excited for the yeehaw emotes and the 07s. So I'm trying, I'm trying to get there for them. And so I am trying to, be as genuine as possible while also doing things that I think will draw in more attention. And so I had a really long day at work. I hadn't packed for a 4-hour road trip for a weekend where I knew I was going to try to stream over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was planning on going all night. I was going to do a 13-hour stream and do Lords of the Fallen, try to get really far into the game because I was one of the only people at the time
Yeah.
who was making content of Lords of the Fallen who was doing it at full frames, 4K, like it
Holy cow.
It wasn't stuttering because I built a beast of a computer. I mean, it's not the strongest thing around. People have pointed out to me, they're like, "Oh, a beast would be this," but it is a very. It cost me almost $6,000. Like it's a very nice computer, and it runs Lords of the Fallen, and there were plenty of streamers who couldn't, and I was trying to capitalize on it. And about 6 hours in, Bombastic Plastic, one of the people who came in from one of my other longer streams, my first really long stream, he was like, "Hey man, you're kind of losing it. Like I think that it might be time. I think it might be time to call it." And I was like, you know what? Like I trust that you're like, as much as he loves to gaslight me, I can tell from interacting with my stream, interacting with chat.
Yeah.
And just knowing myself that I was like, I could tell I was tired, but I thought I could still push further. And he was like, "Hey man, like, I think you just need to call it for the night. Like this, like, I can tell you're getting tired. It feels like you're just making like really weird or dumb decisions. Like, why don't we call it here?" And I was like, you know what? I was like, let me take a break. I took like a 5-minute break, realized I wanted to go to sleep, and I was like, that's it. We do need to call it here. And yeah, so I wholeheartedly agree with what you said, where it's like, go at your own pace, find your limits, know your limits. Because some people do fine when they're really tired on stream. Because for some people, that's even funnier, or that's even better content. When you're like really sleepy, or like you're just kind of delusional. But for me, it's my people are drawn to my energy, and like just how like friendly and positive I am. When I'm almost asleep, I am still positive, but I'm just like, I'm not constantly screaming about things or like super enthusiastic. I'm just kind of like, all right, we're going over here. Ah, it sucked. Okay, let's go over here. Let's do this. And it's like, not like the usual, like, what's the clip that someone made the other day where I literally turned on the national anthem, put myself in front of a flag, and was talking about dumpies and how America supports fat dumpies or something like that.
We really do. USA, USA.
USA. Yeah, so yeah, you just need to know when to step back from it, and that there is no reason to keep going just to keep going. But like even larger than that, like I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. The best advice I can give is watch other streamers, learn from what they do, what you do like, what you don't like, because you're gonna draw an audience based on what you put out. So if you put out content you would like, you'll get like-minded people. And prepare for things to go wrong, and you will do just fine.
Yeah, well, I think that I couldn't have said that better myself. Is, just gotta take it one stream at a time and understand your limits, and just make sure that you know what exactly you're capable of. So I imagine there's a lot more the insight that you have to say that we can't wait to hear when you eventually come back on the show.
Of course. Oh, you're gonna let me come back? That's crazy.
Well, yeah,
Why
bud.
would you do that?
Why not? But yeah, thank you so much, Phantom, for coming on the show. When's your stream today?
I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
The second that you go back to your just chatting, I'm probably gonna start on my stream.
Well, actually, so I'm gonna start doing a thing where instead I'm just gonna go to my ending screen at the very end of every show. So that way it's just easier for me. I just do all my stuff here, and then
Yeah, that makes sense.
so yeah. If you guys aren't already, please go follow the Phantom Fame. He's on YouTube, he's on Twitch, and I don't know if there's anywhere else, but if you look in the Discord, I will have all of his socials linked in our guest advertising channel. He's gonna be your person. Well, there you go.
Yeah, because he's been playing the same. What is BTD?
Playing the same. Team deathmatch, bot team deathmatch, something. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm on primarily on Twitch. I am posting the VODs on YouTube.
Bloons Tower Defense.
Bloons Tower Defense. I never got into balloons, but I know so many people who were.
My best friend plays it.
My best friend's the monkey.
Oh.
You guys say that?
So yeah, you were saying?
So yeah, I'm primarily on Twitch right now. I am working on establishing a presence on YouTube. I do have several of my VODs up on there if you prefer watching VODs on YouTube instead. I thought Twitch only held them for like 2 weeks, but I don't think they've deleted a single video of mine yet, so I don't know what the new policy is.
Maybe they're
But,
just permanent.
Yeah, my VODs are on there. I am on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I know some people are salty. I never really cared in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to post on Twitter more so people can know what I'm up to. I'm on Reddit. I mean, I'm trying to establish a presence everywhere there is social media other than like Instagram because I don't really know what I'd put on there other than pictures of my pets.
I am Instagram's first VTuber.
They've got to have so many VTubers at this point, I'm sure. Probably more lewd tubers than VTubers, but
Both
they're
is
out
good.
there. Both are good. Yeah, both are fine.
Just the horny people place. It really is.
It can be. I felt bad. I did have to unfollow someone that I really liked because their Twitter feed was so inundated with smut that I was like I love you, bro, but like I can't constantly be having this pop. Like it was all of the really horny posts that came up were from them, and I was like it's out of my hands.
Well, it do be like that sometimes.
Sometimes it'd be like that though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up so you can get ready to stream. Sound good?
Of course. Get
Oh.
ready is a fun way to put it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Phantom, and you may or may not see me on his stream later today playing Phasmophobia. So, just saying. But yeah, today's been a fun stream. We have learned so much. We've talked a lot. There've been so many different topics and comments, especially within the chat, within our guest, So if you liked more of this, come back next weekend where I will have 2 new guests, and we'll see how that goes. But as for me, my next stream will be Tuesday at 6 p.m. Nice 2-hour stream, maybe longer, depends. It will be House Flipper. Oh my gosh, I love that game. So we're gonna be having a lot of fun with that.
I saw you posting about that.
House Flipper is just too good of a game. It's too good. You figure out how to make money off of this. It's just too good.
Just flip real houses.
Just be a real estate agent. Skill issue. So yeah, anywho, you broke your PR. Let's go. Well
Well done.
we need to hear about that later. So thank you guys so much, and let's go see Phantom over in his stream. Anywho, bye bye.
Bye-bye. Oh. Oh, dude, that was so much fucking fun. Are you kidding me right now? That was awesome. I had such a good time.